Right, okay. Following on from myself and Sean chatting, you probably remember us chatting either yesterday or a few days ago. For us, it's been about 10 seconds, but the video was dragging on. I do like to try and keep these videos on this channel as short as possibly can. What I wanted to sort of drill into now is what we'd started to go on to. Okay, what do you think is the issue? What do you think is going to happen with Said Benrahma? Option to buy, obligation to buy. Are we going to buy him? What do you think, mate?
Well, it's an obligation to buy, without a doubt. I know the exact details of the contract, and it's tricky because, you know, as David Moyes says, you know, he doesn't like to talk about medicals, etc. You know, we were about to sign. He was about to sign a 5-year contract for £25 million, and you know, it was done and dusted, really. Agents' fees, everything. During the medical, as we know, it's been reported, and you know, it's been well reported. It was broken by Darren Lewis in the Mirror that there was something found in the blood. It wasn't anything physical, you know. So David Moyes was right to say it was it wasn't. He didn't fail in medical as such, but there was an anomaly that would take a long time to resolve. All right. Now, my understanding is the way we resolved that in the end, loan fee of £4.25 million to Brentford, with an obligation to buy of 20.75 million, if the anomaly they found does not represent a significant risk to West Ham United.
Okay.
Right? Doesn't affect him playing, doesn't affect anything else. If that is not a risk factor, and it could just be a false reading, there could be many other reasons. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
He's a West Ham player. Him as a West Ham player who we've signed in a slightly bizarre way to save the deal.
Okay. So as far as we were concerned, we sold Diangana and we sold. I'm not putting you on the spot here, by the way. You're not responsible. You know, I'm just trying to get some information.
Well, some people think I am.
No, but you're not. You didn't personally sell Diangana. You didn't sell a Jetty and Hugh. But as far as we're concerned, that's the money we got in. So that money is. Look, Sean, I'm big and ugly enough to give my own opinions on who I think we should have signed. The fact that we were looking to buy a central defender, that's what I do on here, and I'll continue to do so. So we got that money from those players. So do you think that money just sits in a pot somewhere?
We didn't get that money, did we? We didn't get that money.
We got a Diangana money.
No, we didn't. No.
Well, okay, we got the first instalment of 5 on each one of the deals. We got the first instalment of 5.
I know, but work out how much that is. It's not a lot of money.
It doesn't matter because that money still works out the same, because with Brentford we'll have to pay the first.
I know. Well, but this is a finance thing again, right? Turnovers for show, profits for dough, but cash is king, right? Meaning cash flow is the most important thing to any business, including a football club. The amount of cash we get in is really important. So we haven't got. There are a lot of number of supporters who think we've got 18 million sitting in the bank from Diangana, and you know, 5 from a Jetty and 3 from Hugh. The reality is we've got somewhere between a third of, or a quarter, or a fifth of each of those sums, and I don't know the exact amount because it's a private contract between it, but it's something like that. So that's the money you get, and it is a factor because you have to marry up that when we did the deal with Benrahma. And when we do the deal with any other player, it depends what kind of cash we have to ship out. This is the reason we're in this problem. So I think sometimes fans look at it too simplistically to say, you know, we've got £20 million in the bank. No, we haven't.
No. I agree with them. I agree with looking at it simplistically because what you've said, whilst that's true, I still then look and think, well, okay, if what we're getting is, let's say it's a fifth or 20, let's say it's 20% is, if we've got 20%. Of the revenue of the transfer fees for those players initially up front, and then you get the 20% next year and so on and so forth, paid over the course of the contract. Then when we buy Benrahma, then really we should be doing deals like that. So actually it's the same. So what comes in does go out in transfers. If you sell Diangana over 5 years, and then you buy Benrahma over 5 years, and you do them equally, then it does. It's the same. It doesn't matter whether you assess it as an initial deal or a deal that's spread over the terms. I think where it mucks up, Sean, is when you go and try and do a deal with Sebastian Haller and agree to get it all paid over 18 months, or whatever we agreed to do, which is not spread the 45 million.
That's a bit more complicated as well. And I'm going to go back to Souček before we do. And, you know, and I've been accused of counting Souček in last year's. But really, you know, the £15 million obligation to pay is in this summer's. So it went alongside the Benrahma. And there's people that when I wrote, well, you counted it last year. But the club definitely counted it as a summer signing. You know, we paid our transfer fee of £4 million loan fee for Souček. The £15 million was paid in this summer after the year.
Hold on. Let me stop you. That £15 million, why isn't that spread over like the others then? Why can't it be spread over? Oh, okay, fine.
It is. But what I'm saying is it started in the summer and not in. If you're going to use a simplistic view, you've got to put Souček in the summer.
Sure. Okay. Yeah. Fine.
So let's talk about Haller. So Haller. The Germans report.
You sound like you're trying to say hello in a really bad French accent. Haller. Come on, let's talk about Haller. Come on.
Haller was 45 million, as you know, and they wanted 75% of the money up front, and David Sullivan said no. What we could afford to give him up front was 22.5 million that came from Marko Arnautovic. Why? Because we didn't trust the Chinese to pay us in instalments. So we insisted as part of the deal, we got 22.5 million up front for Marko Arnautovic. We just swapped that and said, okay, we've got 22.5 million from Marko Arnautovic. Let's give it to Frankfurt. That left us with the remainder, 22.5 million. So we paid 50% up front, 22.5 to pay for Haller in 4 payments. Okay. Now, in those payments, there was a payment at the end of the first season, a payment at the start of the next season, and then 2 more payments the next season, right? Again, at the end of the season, etc. Where the dispute came with, and whether whose side you take is the definition of where those seasons begin and end. My understanding in the contract, it gave a take. Other people interpreted it, well, the season end moved and then the season beginning moved. Okay. So let's just get this right. So originally it would have been when that season normally end? May, right? May.
So as far as Frankfurt were concerned, well, I guess everyone understand when they signed the deal, the payment would be made in May because that was the end of the season.
Yeah.
So then it gets to the end. So it gets to the end of the season. Frankfurt say, "Excuse me, where's our money?" And we turned around and said, well, technically, it's not the end of the season anymore. It's a bit like your kids when the clocks go forward, arguing what their bedtime is. You know, yeah.
Look,
okay, I can see that.
We probably used, being honest, we probably used every trick in the book to delay our payment because of cash flow, because we didn't have the money. And we can see why now, goes back to your previous video, we've borrowed all this money because we didn't have the money, right? We've now paid the Haller instalment. Now we've injected lots of money through a rights issue and 2 loans from Barclays Bank. So the 2 things are definitely linked.
100%. Okay, so this money. Now, I think we've taken care of the share issue, the rights issue there, and I'm really impressed actually. Look, I've got a bit of a love-in with David Moyes on this channel.
Have you?
I do. I'm a fan. I'm a David Moyes fan.
Is it a bromance?
I don't know. It's more based on vegetable deliveries and just being a decent human being. I don't know if it's developed into a bromance, but I like him. I like the way he carries himself. And what you said was it in this video or the previous one? I can't remember. Possibly the previous one, where you said actually that he had actually taken a wage cut during. He did. And now
with Karen Brady, just to get in there.
I mean that sticks in the throat.
I bet it does.
I'm struggling to get the praise out for that one, if I'm honest. I know I'm meant to be saying, I'm sort of starting to bite my finger now. I probably need to say credit.
Defend her.
No, perhaps I should be saying credit where credit's due. But I can't. So if you just leave me alone to praise David Moyes on that one, please. I was disappointed with how they collectively, the players group, which was at the time John Henderson and Troy Deeney and Noble was in it, came up with the idea of a deferred payment. Now, I know that everyone does their things for charity privately. I understand it. I understand that Mark Noble gave 30 odd grand to the hospital, and I think it's a wonderful thing to do. But I do think Mark Noble was doing that sort of thing anyway. And whether you help out a hospital or you help out something else, whilst they're good things to do, I don't think it particularly helped the football, which is where we are. And I do feel during that, the fact that the players deferred some of their payments and it's all been paid back, actually, they didn't really lose out much. They played the games anyway, so they got their appearances as well. They haven't really missed out too much on that. So I would have liked to have seen more done from the players on that. So if we say that money's gone, you mentioned 25 million in running costs on a previous video, which still leaves another 50 odd million. Here's what I want to know, and here's what the people watching the video will want to know, because that's why we support West Ham. Do you think there is money there to make a signing or two in January? And the reason I say this is David Moyes has made it quite clear, even though he stopped any leaks or anything coming out, he's been happy to mention that he does believe that he does need certainly another striker and another central midfielder. Do you? Yeah. We spoke about Josh King on videos recently. Do you think that a player, there's going to be deals in January?
I think so, but not mega deals. I think maybe a loan. Josh King is very possible, but I think Bournemouth will be lucky to get single-figure millions for him. He's likely to want to dig in his feet and say, no, I'm going for a free in the summer. Why should I do any deals? They could do a 6-month loan for us, actually, with a loan fee, just to recover money before he becomes a free agent. That would be a wise move for Bournemouth. Or they could persuade him to go for, I don't know, 5-6 million. Those kind of deals, I think, that they're always fine money for. Will there be a deal with 25 million like Benrahma? No, the pandemic's still going on in January. Money's still tight. We haven't borrowed money for transfers. Let's be absolutely 100% crystal clear. The loans we've borrowed are not there to borrow for transfers. It will be one out, one in again. If there's anyone to be sold, Henderson's not doing the best, is he? To put a price tag on him. Could Allaire go? Who knows? But they'd want the majority of their money back, and I just don't see that at the moment.
They won't get it. They won't. They will not get that money.
Who else is a saleable asset? I just don't know. Is the answer?
Well, Declan's a saleable asset, isn't he?
Well, he's not going to be sold. Let's cut that one off at its feet. He's not going to be sold in January.
Okay, how many times? All right. Okay, contacts with the board and all of that. How many times? How many times? I'm not asking for a number. You just say lots or not many or whatever. You approach the boards, doing what you do with Claret and Hugh. Is Declan Rice for sale? You poo-poo it all the time. I speak to Hugh on the phone. I know. But obviously you've got your own contacts aside from within the game. You're adamant. You keep getting told that Declan Rice is not being sold.
Yeah. Even though he's got a house being built in Banstead in Surrey, because I'm a Surrey boy. I know people who know Declan.
I know.
Right?
Banstead's near Sutton. I used to live near there.
Yeah.
It's nice.
Well,
nice
he's always lived. He's in Chesington at the moment.
Kingston, yeah.
He was born in Kingston. He lives in Chesington. His girlfriend doesn't want to move away from the area. It's got nothing to do with Chelsea. He's always lived in Surrey. Always. And all the time he's been at West Ham. And he wants to remain in Surrey. Fair enough.
I crashed my car in Banstead. It was a very snowy day, and I was going about 1 mile an hour, and the car in front of me stopped, and I had a Ford Focus Estate, and I had the slowest car crash you've ever seen in your life. About 1 mile an hour, I just can't stop, and slammed on the brakes, and even though it was about 1 mile an hour, it seemed almost completely wrote off the car in front. Of course, it was my fault, but it wasn't. It was the fault of the snow. But anyway, so he's moving to
100 million.
It wasn't the car wasn't worth that much. It wasn't the car wasn't worth that much, Sean.
If Chelsea come up with 100 million, then of course we'd probably have to take it. But they're not going to come up with 100 million, so it's a nothing story. I know Chelsea fans. Look, I know a lot of Chelsea insiders, etc., and they believe that Chelsea will be offering Oliver Giroud, who wants to leave in January, and he wants to stay in London, and he wants more game time. And you know, we've been linked with, well, tomorrow turned us down, but you know, there's plenty of other talent there that we possibly take. But look, we've made him our captain. He's going to be our future club captain. He loves West Ham. He loves playing for West Ham. Of course, he's got ambition to play Champions League and to play for a top 6 club, but not this January. Is what I'll make a prediction. I'll have a wager with you. He won't leave this January. In the summer, ask me in the summer, but not this January. I think COVID is still much of a factor, and Chelsea aren't about to break a record by paying £100 million for a future England captain, which I think he is.
Well, fair enough. Just quickly, because it's what happens. I lied when I said how long I'll keep you for. Tamori, that Tamori deal, just while you mentioned it.
Yeah.
Well, I know the official state. I know the official thing. Do you think when Moyes got on the phone to him when he wanted the reassurance and he didn't get it from Moyes, was that a Moyes shot across the bows, basically saying I'm not?
No. Moyes is I'm told Moyes is a very straight shooter, right? He was asked, could he be guaranteed playtime? Moyes said, no way. He wouldn't guarantee anyone that. Moyes is a straight shooter. He doesn't bullshit people of what they want to hear. I mean, it was a crazy deal in the first place to say we will pay Chelsea £50,000 every time he doesn't play. Right? Yeah. David Sullivan special. Fair enough. But Moyes, when he talked to him, go, nah, I'm not going to play you just because of that. I don't think he was trying to send a message. Moyes doesn't do that. If he tells it as it is to the owners, and I think he just wanted to be honest with the player. No, I'm not going to play you all the time. You're going to have to work for it. You're going to have to earn it. And I'll tell you what, if a player doesn't want to come after that, good riddance. Don't want them at West Ham.
No. I listen. I totally and utterly agree.
Never agree with players being guaranteed game time on loans because it undermines the manager.
Yeah, no. Listen, I agree. As I say, I'm a big fan of David Moyes, and you know, fair play to him on that one as well, and stand his ground. It's always hard for everybody to believe that there was just such a big switch between these central midfield central defender targets, and then all of a sudden we end up with Benrahma, which sort of makes no sense. And when something makes no sense, you will get conspiracy. But you absolutely will.
Look at the centre backs though. You know, Balbuena has come good, yeah.
Oh, for sure.
And playing well. Bonner's playing the form of his life. He's going to be back for Sheffield United, which is great. That groin injury wasn't serious. So 100% back, I've been told. And with Diop's recovered from his COVID, you know, we've got 3 strong centre backs. Who knows? Even Reed is playing well out in.
So I hear. Yeah.
And you know, and let's not just be disrespectful to Craig Dawson either.
Well, you could barely remember his name then. You were just disrespectful.
Well, he's our 4th choice centre back, but you know what? I think it's unfair. What do we know about football? Again, in David Moyes we trust.
Oh, we do.
Do you know what? We wonder, after you've told me about your bromance with Moyes, maybe you need to do an hour tune with sort of who was it? Simon.
On Bates.
Do an hour tune.
Simon Bates.
That music. When Gonzo's eyes met David Moyes.
He's a fine figure of a man, Sean. Listen, we're gonna have to finish there. Just listen. Thanks for joining us on both videos. It's been a massive help. Do you just want to say "aller" to the viewers?
Aller.
Thank you very much. Catch you next time.